Hi guys, welcome back to Shelby in the Book Club. I'm Shelby Monet, and in today's video I'm going to give you a full review of The Color of Family by Jerry McGill. There will be spoilers. I don't know how to talk about things without spoilers, so if you don't like that in book reviews, I would say don't watch this, because I give spoilers, because I feel like I can't talk about something in detail. I can't really review it without giving you like the points and all of that kind of thing. So if you would like to hear all about The Color of Family by Jerry McGill, here you go. What do I always tell y'all about these little itty bitty books is that they pack a punch. It's always the ones that are like just under 250, usually under 300 pages, that unseemingly just punch you dead in the chest, and you be like, my God, today what's going on here? So The Color of Family, we meet the Payne family, which honestly made me think of that the Tyler Perry show, Meet the Paynes. But they are nothing like them. We meet the Payne family. There is the father and the mother. I don't remember their names. It's Harold and Camille Payne, right? They meet while they're in college. Harold is a writer. Camille is, a Spelman girl. And they fall in love, have a total of 8 children, I believe. Roxanne, Cassandra, Margot, James, Devin, and then Harold has 2 children. No, Devin, Alexis, because Devin and Alexis are twins. And then Harold, the father has 2 children outside of the marriage, 2 that we know of. There could be more, right? So the main character of the story, even though it is a story about the entire family, the main character is Devin. He's one of the twins. He is the baby because his twin sister was born before him, so he's the baby of the family. And him and his brother have do y'all hear my child coming? Come on, lay down. I think he just is going to be in the videos from now on. Y'all just going to have to see a bit of Gunner. Go ahead. Oh, the sweet baby. So Devin and his brother James, who is his older brother, they have like this brotherly rival that the entire family kind of just ignores. Like, nothing really causes it outside of the fact that it is very known that James is the favorite child by their mother. Their father doesn't really have a well, he does. Cassandra, I think, is his favorite, but he's more concerned about his business. Like, he takes care of the family. They're not wealthy, I would say a rich black family for their time, but James is obviously the favorite, right? The story is about Devin and James getting into a car accident. Devin becomes a paraplegic, and how this alters not only his life but the family's life. Now, this beef between him and James kind of goes on forever, right? And the really big thing is that this life-altering thing happens to Devin, but James gets to go on and live his life, live his dreams out, which are some of the same dreams that Devin had. They both played sports. They both were really good athletes, and Devin can't do any of this anymore, right? So Devin gets shipped off to California to this really good rehabilitation center so that he can learn how to, live his life and build his strength up and all of this stuff, so that he can live on his own as a paraplegic, so that he can learn that his life is not now over. He starts selling drugs, which was wild to me, but I'll get to that in a second. He started selling drugs because he meets these other kids in the rehabilitation center because he's 16 or 17 when this happens to him. And they start selling drugs, they get in trouble, and then he decides he wants to go to school. He tries that. Things don't necessarily work out with that. And he's trying to figure out his life sort of alone. His twin sister is still a part of his life. His two younger siblings are a part of his life. His older sister, Roxanne, once she realized that he was selling drugs and he got in trouble for it, she didn't want anything to do with him. So he was really trying to figure out how to live life alone because Mama didn't really check on him. Like, she did what she had to do. She was doing like the bare minimum parenting. Like, it's the right thing to check on my son that's paralyzed. So I'm gonna call him. When he call and say he need money, I'm gonna send it to him. But they made it seem like it was all his fault, like what happened to him. When in my opinion, and if y'all read the book, I would like to know what y'all think. I feel like it's James' fault. I feel like it's James' fault that they got into the car accident. But then James gets sick, right? Now, the juicy bit of the story is that James ends up stealing his brother's girlfriend and marrying her and having children with her. And the entire family kept this from Devin. So on top of the fact that y'all not showing up for this man in a time of his life where he really needs it, y'all also are going to keep this really big secret that is devastating to him. Like, this is just okay. So because James ended up getting sick, he needed a kidney transplant, and they asked Devin, a paraplegic, to give his brother a kidney. And I said, you know what? How raggedy can you be to ask a paralyzed person for his kidney? Like, he is paralyzed. Are y'all serious? And like, was mad at him for not doing this thing. So Devin's life goes on, and he starts selling drugs again, gets in trouble, ends up about to go to jail. And in this, he decides that he wants to talk to Gina, who is his ex-girlfriend that his brother stole, and say that he forgives them. Like, I forgive them. But it was this like weird conversation about how she felt like she was the victim because he wouldn't save her husband, not realizing what her and her husband did to him and the rest of the family and how detrimental it was. So there's that. At first, when I finished reading it, I was just like, oh, this is Tyler Perry level mess, right? Like, if Tyler Perry finally hired some writers, girl, this is the level of mess that we would get in his stuff, right? But then I was talking to a friend of mine who is a bibliotherapist. Her name is Emily. I will put a picture of her and her Instagram information up here on the screen. She also has read it. She also as well read it around the same time that I did. And she and I were talking about it. And it made me realize that all of the extra that I was looking for, like I wanted it to go deeper, was actually real life, right? We don't really allow ourselves to dig deep into our trauma and why our family is the way that it is, or why we feel the way that we do, or why we act the way that we do in certain circumstances. That is real life. And the way that the story ended, the way that he was alone, the way that everything was kind of just surface level is real life. We don't allow ourselves to dig deep. And it sucks because the bad things that Devin did in his life, like selling drugs and having to go to jail and doing all of this, is because he was looking for family. He had this really big family, and they all kind of just abandoned him because they didn't like the life that he was living, instead of asking questions about how he got to where he got. Like, how did he get here? How did he get here? It wasn't by himself. those decisions come from looking for something. So I thought that was super interesting about the book. Like it was interesting to me how, you know, sometimes you need a conversation with somebody else in order to expand your vantage point of something. Because at first I really was like, it was good, it was just messy. And then I was like, no, there's a deeper point here. There's more to it. And even looking at some of the book reviews for people were just like 3 stars. It wasn't as like fast paced and blah blah blah. And I think people want fiction to always be like this happily ever after. I'm sorry, y'all, I don't know what he is doing, but he is getting his life. But people want fiction to always be like this fairy tale. Oh, Devin was saved, and you know, he helped his brother and they got along and blah blah blah. But no, that's not real life. Devin was valid for not helping his brother. Those feelings are valid, even though it was you know, his brother ended up passing. He was right for feeling that way because he was betrayed. And then the entire family kept this secret from him that if he would have known, it still would have hurt him, but it would have given him the opportunity to process it differently. But it's like, y'all don't honor me as in Devin. They didn't honor Devin, but they expect Devin to honor the family. And I just feel like that's just not fair. They also, there was a chapter about the mom very explicitly being like, the only reason I'm visiting Devin is because I want him to save James. And she was like very adamant and clear about the fact that like James was her favorite kid out of all of her children, and that he that, you know, sitting at his funeral, she was like, I know that I won't feel as bad as I do right now when my other children pass on if I'm here to witness it. And I like reading it, I'm like, okay girl, this is why your son, one, this is why James was the way that he was, right? But two, this is why Devin don't want to help. Like, your children are the way that they are because of you. Like, they are a direct reflection of you, right? So it was it was a very good book. Of course, you can purchase it at shelbyandthebookstore.com. I am very interested in reading the other books by Jerry McGill. So eventually I'll add those to the site as well, once I get some time. But yeah, I thought it was a really good book. If you plan to read it, let me know. Gunnar obviously thinks that it's boring. So without further ado, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you made it this far in the video, put a, I think they have like a little dog emoji. Put a little dog emoji in the comments for Gunnar. If no one told you today, I love you. Bye guys.